Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are live and we are happy and excited about what's going on in Southern California. My gosh, squid all over the place. Fishing is phenomenal. Even catching is pretty good. So, we're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about what's going on in Southern California. What do you guys need to do to catch more fish in Southern California? And then I want to let you all know that tonight, Michael and I are going to have a viewing party for Chapter 4, The History of Sport Fishing, at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We will go live and we'll have a great viewing party. You're all asked to participate, be a part of. We appreciate all of you. And as we're moving forward here with the podcast and all the great things that the podcast brings us, we want to talk about the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival, gang, at the Orange County Fairgrounds, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of March. It's going to be an absolute spectacle of a show with all the great people that are going to be there, all the phenomenal seminars from some of the top people in the industry from all over the place. We're going to have Jay Brewer from Prehistoric Pets will be there, and so much more will be there. We'll have a nice booth there. We'll have a bunch of friends and family in the show. We'll be doing our seminars all day long at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival. And then on Saturday, we are going to have a fan participation dinner where Kelly and I are going to buy all the food and the drinks. And you guys, if you want to potluck it or something, you can bring it. We'll be at Captain Al's motorhome in the back part of the parking lot in the camping area. We did it last year. It was absolutely spectacular. Remember, like Mike Lewis said, bring a chair. You've got to bring a chair, gang. I just can't. We got enough tables and stuff, but if you want to sit down, you got to bring a chair. So everybody bring a chair, put it in your car, and then when the show is over, the party starts in the parking lot where you camp. It's pretty easy. Last year we were the only people there having a barbecue, so it won't be that hard to find. It's pretty easy. And we just hope that it doesn't rain. That's all we can hope for. I'm super excited about the PCS show coming up. If you show up wearing some of our clothes or a hat or anything like that, you're going to get something from Captain Dave and Kelly Girl. We'll give you guys away a nice gift of some type or another. You just got to show up wearing our gear. And if you don't have any of our gear, you can always go to our store. I'll throw the QR code up there on the screen. You can get all kinds of gear over there. We got, well, like Brent says, we got underwear, we got socks, we got backpacks, we got so much merchandise at the store. You just pick it out and get it shipped to you. I would say order it sooner than later if you want to have it for the show. We'll have some shirts and some hats, but it'll be very minimal. Yeah. But if you show up wearing some of our gear, if you order it now, there's a pretty good chance you'll get it in time for the show. Like I said, it's the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Orange County Fairgrounds. And then it's going to be again in the end of March on the 19th through the 22nd. That's going to be exciting to be down there in the San Diego area, meeting and greeting all of you and seeing what's going on. And we're fast approaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hopefully we'll be there for the PCS show, but we'll be real close if we're not. And that's a big, big deal. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to our channel, please feel free to do so. It doesn't cost any money. It's free, and it just makes Kelly and I feel really good when we see all the people that subscribe and all of our friends that are on here day in and day out. We really, really appreciate everybody. And to let you guys know, during the pandemic, we decided to start this podcast, and now we're at episode number 924. That's crazy to think. So much time has gone by, and we do this 5 days a week. And I couldn't be more happy than having all of you guys join us every single day. Thank you, Tim, Matt, John, James, Lisa, Renee, all the people that are on here. We really do appreciate all of you. And then to give you guys an update on our monkey, last week we were approached by the doctor, the veterinarian who's been treating Marley for a long time, about ownership of the monkey. So Kelly and I decided that we would give the monkey to her. I can't think of a better person to take Marley. It hurts our feelings really bad to see him go, but as we watch the videos they're sending us, it looks like he's very, very happy in his new home. He's got an ocean view. He's staring out the window all day, looking at the world go by. He's eating, drinking, and sleeping. So I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be all right. What up, Lisa? You just got bait. Where are you going? You going fishing right now? Let us know. Hey, Darren, how are you? Yeah, Lisa and Tom going fishing today. Perfect. Listen to the show while you go catch some fish. And then we can't do the show without our great sponsors. So thank you, Promar, very, very much for being a sponsor and sponsoring Your Saltwater Guide for as long as you guys have. Really do appreciate that. And there's so much going on in Southern California that we just need to talk about all the different species that you can catch in the wintertime. And oh my gosh, first of all, the squid, as you guys have seen from our videos and what so many good friends of the show have sent us, these phenomenal videos, like check out this video right here of the squid fishing that's going on right now in Southern California. And he's got the Promar squid braille net and he's making it happen. And that's Danny Fan. He's a huge supporter of Your Saltwater Guide. He sent us this video a couple weeks ago. I mean, just look at the volume of squid. You guys, this should really excite all of you.
What's up, Dave? Thanks for the numbers. Check this out. Ho, ho, ho. You're the man. Look at all these birds. Exactly where you said they were. Appreciate that. And check this light out here. It's the light that we're using. The Squid Max light. Yeah. And this is the generator we're using. About 389 watts, 92%. We just got here. 4.4 hours left. And some more squid. Look at that. Yeah. Some more in the net. Slow and steady, we just got here.
It's so spectacular that our friends and our family send us videos and we can help all of you get more views. If you guys want, you can send videos to me. Danny Fan sent that video. That video's just gotten over 3 million views on Facebook alone. It's just absolutely incredible, the amount of people that have never seen that before and really get turned on by checking out all of our videos. We post 3 brand new videos every single day, gang. We get about somewhere between 12 and 30 million views a month across all social media. We're not on just one channel. I want to tell you guys, I'm an addict. So, recovering addict. So when they told me you could post on one channel, I was like, well, what if we post on every channel? They're all, well, that would even be better. So Elliot and I, we've been posting on every single channel that there is. If you guys know a channel that we're not posting on, please let me know. Right now, I think we're on 11. I think we're TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, Threads, X, Rumble, and Reddit. If there's more, please let me know. It takes just as long to post on one as it does to post on 11. So let me know if you guys want to see me on another channel. I'd be more than happy to jump right in there. So gang, what I want to talk about today is something that a lot of guys and gals ask me about, and I'm blown away. So I thought I would talk about it today. Our sand dab fishery in Southern California. I know it's not glamorous, and I know it's not big tuna, and it's not gonna, but you know what it is? It's great table fare. And somebody sent me a video last night of them eating sand dabs and at a nice restaurant. $16 for 3 little tiny sand dabs and some mashed potatoes and vegetables. Thanks, Mike Lewis. I'll get on True Social right after this. I own stock in it, so I might as well be on it. So yeah, the sand dab fishing is an untouched fishery, really, if you think about it. I mean, they do a sand dab special up in San Pedro. They go out and catch 2,000 or 3,000 of them in a day. You guys on your own private boat, you guys can take advantage of this sand dab thing. If you like good table fare, white meat fish, and it's winter time and you're having a rough time catching anything, what you want to do is get out there to I have a plethora of spots that I give you guys on my hotspots videos. Take those hotspots videos and go out to anything over 300 feet of water, any of the rocks, hard bottom, anything like that. Get off to the side. If you're right on the rock, you're going to catch rockfish, which, lo and behold, you don't want to catch rockfish right now because they're an endangered species. So we're going to not fish for those. What we're going to do is we're going to fish off the sides of the rocks in 300 feet of water or greater, anywhere from Channel Islands to the Mexican border. You guys can catch unlimited amounts of sand dabs. I think it's 20 finfish is the bag limit. So you can have 20 of these sand dabs, which makes a phenomenal meal. All right. If you don't know how to cook them, if you don't know how to prepare them, you cut their head off, you pull the guts out, you scale them, and you put them in the frying pan whole. Then you take a fork. You only got to cook them for a couple of minutes. You take a fork, you flake the meat off, and oh my God, it's super white meat. You can eat the skin. If you scale them, you can eat the skin. It's great. Make it all crispy in a frying pan with some fresh garlic and a little bit of sweet butter, and cook those things at high heat for 1.5 to 2 minutes, and it's done. Maybe 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other side. They are done. And oh my gosh, you're in store for one of the greatest fish to eat. No, if you haven't tried them yet, you got to give it a try. If you have tried them, then you know how delicious they are. And then why aren't you taking advantage of these fish? We call them Pop-Tarts because they're just about the size of a Pop-Tarts, fits right in your toaster. But drop those canyons down or hooks down or whatever you decide to use. You can use the Promar or the Ahi sand dab rig. It's got like 10 hooks on it. I like to use the sabikis. I like to put on a sabiki, and I'll put on a 6-ounce sinker on the top, or on the bottom of it, on that swivel. And then on the top, I'll put another 1-ounce sinker. So 6 ounces, and 1 ounce. It lays that flat on the bottom. You only got to leave it down there for a minute. Once it touches the bottom, and you'll have 6 sand dabs at a time. Wind them up. Oh, most people don't take advantage of this fish that lives bazillions of them. You know, Mac, that's a great question. You can use the sabiki with 6 hooks on it to catch mackerel. So I'm saying use the sabiki to catch your sand dabs. It's going to be the same. I think they'd have a hard time arguing with you when they're making billions of them and everybody uses them. I don't think that they're going to say anything. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think they would. The Fish and Wildlife would have a hard time telling me you can't use a sabiki. But I use a sabiki, and they make several different size sabikis. So you want to get the one with the, not the little tiny, not the size 8. You want to get the ones with the size 4 hooks. It matters. It matters a lot. Those sand dabs, they got a round mouth. About the only, they can get littler hooks, but bigger hooks, it's kind of tough. But if you put a little tiny piece of squid, just a tiny, tiny little piece, maybe about that big, on each one of those sabiki hooks, drop it down to the bottom, 6 ounces on the bottom of the sabiki, 1 ounce on the top. That'll allow it to lay down flat on the bottom and not get tangled. Oh my goodness. You're going to get 6 at a time. It won't take you long to catch 20 of them. Put them on ice, head and gut. Take the scales off, and you're set for a phenomenal meal. Now, these things are all over. A lot of guys love to fish them in Catalina. Todd Manser's old boss, God rest his soul, Ralphie, he would on that big, beautiful Hatteras he had, he would fish right in front of Avalon and catch those sand dabs all day long. Michael Folks tells a story about how catching sand dabs, why they're baiting swordfish on the bottom, deep drop swordfish, because swordfish love eating sand dabs. They take that big bill and scrape it across the bottom, make all the sand dabs come up off the bottom, and then they just munch them. So sand dabs are an all-around great fish to eat, great bait fish for lingcod, stuff like that. But we're in the dead of winter now. Now, I know John Stanley caught some yellowtail on Saturday, but there's so many other options. If you go out there, what I would suggest, get out there early in the morning, get your sand dabs, get a bucket full of them for the whole family, you get 20 a piece, and then go inshore and go look for the artificial reefs, go catch some bass on the artificial reefs, fish around the edges of the artificial reefs. We'll talk about what lives on the edges of the artificial reefs, and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff today, and I'll answer any questions you guys have. You can throw the questions up on the side here on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, whatever you're watching this on. Throw the questions up. I'll see them, and I'll do my very best to answer everyone's question. We're going to go for about 35, 40 more minutes, and I'll answer all the questions I can on what to do, how to do it, where to do it. Fortunately, I've been able to fish for a living here for 52 plus years, so I may have an answer for you. And if I don't, I'll make up a really good one. But check this out real quick before we go any further. You guys got to check out this Akara lure. These things are phenomenal.
This is the Promar Ahi booth. Now, last night at the new product showcase, I looked at some of the lures, and the nicest lure that I saw on the shelf was the Ahi Ikara. So they have their new Ikara line of jigs. These things are absolutely incredible. I'm gonna show you them up close, but we're gonna talk to Dave here. Dave's gonna run us through the new lures from Promar Ahi and tell us what the features are on the lures. So now you corrected me and said these were slow pitch jigs?
Yeah, they're slow pitch jigging is the new thing in the fishing industry. Everybody's doing the slow pitch thing. They're making rods for it and everything. So we came out with the Akara line of slow pitch jigs. And the way that the fish react to them is absolutely incredible. like you were mentioning to me, you could tell that they went to everything right. The hooks are perfectly weighted. Every part of the lure is weighted so that it flutters when it falls, and it looks just like a wounded bait fish. And it causes an unbelievable reaction bite. As we go through the line, we have them from 15 grams all the way to 150 grams.
Okay, so we're talking saltwater and freshwater.
Oh, yes, salt and fresh. I just did a seminar over at the Bass Tank, and every bass in there had the lure in his mouth at least 5 times.
First off, I just got to say the quality and the detail on these things, you can visually walk by and see that these things are built different. I mean, the tiniest details on this, it looks like a real fish. 3D depth on the eyes. I mean, these things are unbelievable. Even the way the hooks are attached, they have like heat shrink sleeves over the tie-ons. I mean, everything was thought through on these lures that I can see from.
You really have to fish with it to appreciate it. When you watch it flutter, it's incredible. And I know you couldn't see it in the product showcase how it flutters, but you can only see what you can see, but you recognized it, which was a good deal.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try one of these in some of the invasives in South Florida. Now, if I'm fishing for bass, which ones would I go for here?
It all depends on the depth of the water.
Okay.
If you're gonna fish the shallower water, you see the smaller bait, the largemouth bass or the peacock bass or the smallmouth chasing the small bait. This is gonna replicate that small bait inside there.
Okay.
So you're going to throw this on a spinning rod with maybe some 6-pound or 8-pound because you're trying to get a reaction bite on that fish when they're on the small bait. You can't fish it with very heavy line because then it won't do the flutter as it sinks. So it's going to have to be a lighter line.
Okay.
As you move up to the weight, then you can move up on your pound test.
Now, how come they didn't put treble hooks on these?
Treble hook's not going to allow this to flutter the way we want it to flutter. We've tried different treble hooks. So the smaller treble hook will allow it to flutter, but then you won't hook it. J-hook, the way that it's weighted on here and the way that it's rigged, it's ready to go right out of the package, but you're also going to hook the fish when he eats it.
Well,
straight
Dave,
up and down.
They look beautiful. I appreciate the lesson you just gave me here, and I appreciate it all, man. I can't wait to try one of these things out in the water.
Thank you very much, Joe, for stopping by and checking this out. I can't wait to see your YouTube channel and see you showing us you catching big whoppers on this.
We got to catch something.
All right, gang. That was a pretty cool video I made with Joe there down at the ICAST show last year. Actually sounds like I kind of know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something, gang. I was at the ICAST show down there in Florida. There was all these superstars of fishing all around, Roland Martin and just so many people. And I tell you what, I had to stand on top of the aquarium and flick that Akara jig into the aquarium where all the professional bass fishermen had been fishing it for 3 days. They fished that thing hard. Those bass had a million rubber lures in their mouth and every other kind of lure. And I'll tell you what, I got up on top of that tank and I flicked that lure in the water, and every single bass had it in his mouth more than once. And I was very, very impressed with my abilities because, as you all know, I'm not much of going to the lure. I'd rather fish bait. I can fish lures pretty well, not as good as some of the guys, but I know how to fish lures. Those bass were eating the lure every time I threw it in there. So maybe it has... I'd like to think it was a lot me, but maybe it's more the lure. So Brett Rodriguez asks, why are so many people so jealous of us? Well, look at Brett, I'm telling you, just look at the people. To get to the level that we're at, it takes a phenomenal amount of work and a phenomenal amount of commitment to put out 3 brand new videos every single day. And, you know, they just think that this all just came very easy to this old man. Well, it doesn't come easy, and they're jealous that they don't have the ability to do it. I've been doing this for such a long time, and it just seems hilarious when people call me up and, don't agree with what I'm doing for a living. Well, I was doing this for a living before you were born, sweetheart. So get in line for the Hate Me Club because it's a long, long line, but I don't care. because I've been doing this longer than most of them have been alive, and they're just jealous. It's the way it is. So Brett, Seawolf 1330, why is this such a great day? Please tell us more. And yes, why didn't anybody watch the hoop netting live last night? Doesn't make any sense. We will find out what it costs to mail it to New Zealand. We'll check it out. Why didn't anybody watch that show last night? My gosh, Limit. Ryland, Deckhand Ryland, he's 11 years old. He pulled every single hoop. I know a couple of them, Anthony helped him a little bit, but Deckhand Ryland pulled all those hoops last night, caught limits for his dad, caught limits for Anthony, and caught limits for himself. That's a pretty studly young man right there, gang. And he did it all. And it would have been really cool to have this big audience. Like, we used to get 60, 70,000 people. They have us on a short string right now where they're restricting the views, is all I can say. I mean, you hit the notification button, you don't even get notified. Oh, the vest is coming along great. Great, cool. Yeah, I don't care about those guys. I was just asked by Brent why there's so many of them. Well, there really isn't. In the great scheme of life, there's about 10. And that's about all there is. And their lives don't matter. And we don't care about them. So whatever. I don't care. Have fun hating me, man. Have fun hating me. You never met me before. You've never sat down and had a cup of coffee with me, but whatever. So Tim Ogilvy, yeah, you better bring that $100, man. You owe it to me. And it's going to change what I eat. That's for damn sure. At least for 5 minutes. Yeah, there is so much cool stuff going on in our fishing world today, gang. And if I can tell you, the sand dab thing is absolutely spectacular. And if you haven't done it yet, you got to go try it at least once and see what's going on. What's great about lobster fishing at the end of the season? Well, that's when they get into those big spawning. I'm gonna tell a little secret. The end of lobster is way better than the beginning. Always has been, always will be. Because as you look at your lobsters now, they are pasting. They're getting pasted. The females are getting that paste on them, which is the male's milk, if you will. So they're all pasted. And then the females, when you take the tail and remove the tail from the body, you're going to see the pre-development of the eggs already in all these lobsters. February and March, if the Fish and Wildlife cared about the animals, they would end the season. They would let us start fishing in the summertime, and they'd end the season at the end of January, because that's mating time, baby. That's the time they mate. But who am I to question the Fish and Wildlife? They know more about fish than I ever will. So I'm going to just absolutely annihilate the lobsters. All of our spots that we give away on the Hot Spots videos focus on where these animals are going to be February and March. That's when it really gets good. They're in the shallow water. They're spawning. They're in big aggregate balls, if you will, of spawning balls. So these lobsters are going to be much easier to catch. Like last night, Justin was done in an hour and 20 minutes. Done, limits for 3. Done. And that's how it's going to be for the next month and a half, gang. They are in the spawn mode. And like Erica, I'm the last person that would ever hope that they close more. And I don't. And nope. No one that matters that closes stuff listens to our silly little show anyway. So might as well tell you guys. How can I say this? Have you ever mated? If you've ever mated, I'm telling you, when you're mating, the only thing that matters is mating. And when you're done mating, you want something to eat and then you're going to sleep. So I'll tell you what, you want to get in on this thing right now with these lobsters because they are totally involved in mating. They are totally involved in mating, and they're gonna be a part of it for another month and a half. And you want to get out there and get as many as you can. I didn't make the law, but you're allowed to have 7 per person. Think about that. You're not going to affect the population, whether they're spawning or not, because the commercial guy, the guy that paid a phenomenal amount of money for his permit, you know how many lobsters he could have tomorrow? A zillion. He could have 10 trillion tomorrow. If he caught that many in his 350 traps, he could have as many as he wants. And there are people that are going to fight you till the end saying, you don't need 7, you only need 5. You've never seen me eat before. You have no idea how many I need, or nor should you be telling me how many I need. That's kind of a democratic thing, is thinking to tell me how hungry I am, or tell me how much I should drink, or how much I should eat. Lobsters taste great, and there's billions of them, so don't ever think you need to change the law. But I'm telling you, if they cared, they would end the season way earlier, but they'll never listen to me anyway, so I don't care. So as you guys get these sand dabs, now you're going to go into the shallows and you're going to start to fish the artificial reefs. I talk about them all the time. The artificial reefs, gang, there is a phenomenal amount of artificial reefs, okay? And you know what these artificial reefs were built for? They were built for us. They were built for the fishermen with our money. So you got to remember, we invested a phenomenal amount of money making these artificial reefs. And they were made for us, by us, with our fishing license money and all the other ways that they scam money off of us to build these artificial reefs. They don't use any science anymore or anything. They just made a new artificial reef off of Dana Point in the last 10 years. And they put that reef right on top of reef. So they put rocks on top of rocks. Was kind of the silliest thing we've ever seen. And then they're like, "Oh, the reef's doing great." Yeah, right. It was doing great before you dumped a bunch of rocks on the reef. Now the reef's got to grow through all that new rock. It's kind of silly. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because you need to take advantage of the artificial reefs. You need to go out there like John Stanley and Tina Stanley and Darren Driscoll and a lot of the people, they take advantage of the artificial reefs because I've made so many videos about them. But if you go out and you look at whatever harbor you're fishing out of, Dana Point, Oceanside, San Diego, Mission Bay, Marina del Rey, there's artificial reefs somewhere near your harbor. And those artificial reefs are teeming with fish. There are zillions of fish on these things. What we suggest is you get one at Captain Al's chum tubes. And I've told everybody, I know there's a lot of people, gosh, Dave, here we are again talking about the artificial reefs. Well, really, it's the winter time. So it's perfect time to talk about the artificial reefs because they don't allow us to catch rock cod because there's too many of them. So they got to keep that closed. So what we need to do is start to learn how to fish the artificial reefs. Now, Iser's is an artificial reef that was built by Russ Iser, and all these other artificial reefs that are in Marina del Rey and up and down the Southern California coast. They have a plethora of fish: sheephead, calico bass, sand bass, multitudes of rockfish. Pelagic fish get on them: bonita, barracuda, yellowtail, white sea bass. They'll all get on those artificial reefs, and you don't know when you throw your bait in the water which fish you're going to catch. You just know as if you increase the prey density level, which is what using that tube for, Captain Al's chum tube, increase the prey density level in the water. That's going to bring all the fish around the back of your boat that are living on this artificial reef. Now you need a little bit of current. You need a little trickle of downhill current. That's current going from San Diego to Mexico, or it's going from LA to Mexico or whatever. You got to have a little bit of current to get those fish more active and get them up off the reef and feeding. When there's no current at all, the fish are all lackadaisical and they don't really feel like moving around. As soon as that current starts, all the fish on all the reefs and all the kelp beds and everything, as soon as the current starts to flow in a southerly direction, they get really excited because they know some food's going to be floating by them soon. So when you get out to the spots and you get out to those artificial reefs, check. The only way to find out if the current's flowing, unless there's lobster traps, is to drop your anchor and find out if the current's flowing. Fortunately for us, this time of year, the lobster traps are going to tell the story. Well, how do we know that? Well, or how do we know what's going on when we get by the lobster traps? The current is going to make the lobster trap look like it's getting pulled through the water, if you will. If it looks like that lobster trap's being pulled through the water, that's current. It's not getting pulled through the water. It is current, gang. And you want to set up above the rocks so that when you drop your line in the water, your bait is going down to where the fish are. If you park your boat right on top of the rock, if you're marking the rock underneath your boat when you anchor, when you throw your line in the water, it's going to be back behind the rock. There's a very good chance you're not going to catch anything. You want to make sure you anchor up in front of the rock so when you drop your bait in the water, it's going down to the rock. And what you're going to do, we haven't even talked about that this year, but this is the time of year, and you got to get out there and you got to get all these spots plugged into your GPS, because we have 3,300 spots on our hotspots videos, but there are spots that people find still today that haven't been fished or haven't been fished very hard. So what you want to do is get out there, drive around those lobster traps on your boat, because they're not going to be sitting on top of the rock. They're going to be off to the left, off to the right, out in front of or back behind. You want to mark them. You want to drive around, mark the bottom, and then push mark on your GPS or man overboard. I just like to push mark, and then I just grab as many spots as I can and have all those spots for when the lobster traps come out of the water here in a month. You're going to go, darn, I should have marked those spots. But you mark all those spots so that you can fish all winter long on those rocks. And then you go back to those rocks in the summertime, lo and behold, there'll be yellowtail on them. There'll be white sea bass on them, calico bass fishing phenomenal on them. And then how do we rig up? How do we rig up to fish these? We already talked about how we rig up to fish the sand dabs. How would you rig up to fish the artificial reefs? There's a few different ways. I personally like to fish a small sliding sinker and a strip of squid. You can fish the Carolina rig, Texas rig. You can fish whatever way you prefer to fish, but you better be ready when that bait gets down there towards the bottom for a bite. I don't know how many people I've had on a boat and we park on the spot. They drop their line in the water, I get bit instantly, and they're like, I wasn't ready. And I go, if that line is going in the water, if it touches the water, you should be ready, because the days of stopping and fishing and getting no bites, those days are long gone now that you're members of Your Saltwater Guide. you guys will never, ever drop your line on a spot and expect nothing to happen. If you got a little trickle of current, you've chummed plenty, and then you're going to put your line in the water, you best be ready for a bite. Now, I like to fish 15 to 20 pound monofilament or fluorocarbon straight off a braid. I'm going to have 12 to 18 inches of monofilament or GT4 fluorocarbon on my rod, and then I'm going to have straight braid. All my rods are rigged up with all my reels are rigged up with straight braided line. And then I just put a little tiny piece of fluorocarbon or monofilament on it in front. And why do I keep saying mono? Well, because a lot of people can't afford fluorocarbon all the time. So I just want you to fish the way you can afford it. If you only have monofilament, it worked for a zillion years. Now I understand everybody's got to have fluorocarbon, but if you only have mono, it'll work. Maybe it won't work the greatest, but it's going to work, and you're going to catch plenty of fish. And what I like to do is I like to fish that little sliding sinker, cast it out, let it sink down in the water column with the chum that's raining out of the chum tube. So it's looking like snow actually coming down. And then you put a little bit bigger piece of squid, not a chunk, not a square meal, not a chunk, but a strip, small strip, so they can get it in their mouth. So many people fish these giant chunks of squid, and I don't understand. You were getting a bite, then they put on this giant chunk of squid. The fish can't even get it in their mouth. That's ridiculous. Put on a piece of bait that's going to let it slide in their mouth like a piece of spaghetti, and it'll work, and it'll change what you catch. And shrimp will work good on these artificial reefs. The unfortunate thing is we can't keep sheephead because there's too many of them. So they put us on hold on the sheephead. It's absolutely ridiculous what you can and cannot keep, but it is the law, so we have to work around it. We got to work around it. So you can catch sheephead this time of year. You just can't keep sheephead this time of year. Don't get me wrong when I say you can't fish for sheephead. You can fish for anything you want. You can't adjust what's going to bite the bait, but you can't keep them. Just like you can't fish for black sea bass, but lo and behold, if one eats my bait, I had no control over it. Then they say you can't touch it. Shut up. I want him to live, so I'm going to touch him. I'm going to relieve the pressure in his belly, and I'm going to send him back down. I'm even going to make videos about it, because what do you mean you can't touch a black sea bass? Get out of here, gang. You can touch him. You can take a picture of him. I know. The law clearly states you can't touch him. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I'm going to touch him all day, every day. I touched a fish and let it go, and I wanted to write that ticket. Well, do we have any evidence? No, he threw the fish back. So you're here telling me that this gentleman caught a fish, took it off his hook, and threw it back, and it swam back to the bottom, but you're writing him a ticket because he touched him? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of town, gang. You've got to be joking me. That's crazy talk right there. That is crazy, crazy, crazy talk. That is so funny. I can't believe it. That they want you to not touch that fish. That's crazy talk. So you get out to those artificial reefs, you chum a bunch, you got a little bit of current. Now you start strategizing. You start using light line, small hooks, catching sargo, perch are my favorite. Those things live all over these artificial reefs. They're all over them. And you catch those in the upper water column, and they'll swim through, and there's literally thousands of them. Those things are phenomenal to eat. They're about the size of a dinner plate, perfect eating size. sargo, black croaker, and then sand bass, calico bass. Hey, Cubby, how are you? Are you home? I called you a couple times, no answer. I'll try again. And then, gang, don't forget, if you have not, and I'm not trying to force you to get in or not, but if you haven't got any of our gear yet and you're coming to the PCS show, you need to get some of our gear as quick as you possibly can. Grab that QR code at the bottom of the screen, gang, because, and don't take my word for this, but all the other people, oh, let's see. All the other people, all of our members, all the other people that were at the show last year, I'm telling you, you'll be blown away by how many people are wearing your Saltwater Guide gear, shirts, hats, and you don't want to be left out. You're going to want to be part of the cool kids. So make sure you get it sooner than later because we're going to have very limited amount this year. I'm not buying 1 million shirts this year. Kelly loves to give them away for free. So I'm not buying a bunch of shirts. So you guys want to get them, you got to buy them online, right? As soon as possible to get them delivered to you before it's over. Black Bass History Month. Yeah. Yeah, so get your gear. I'll leave that QR code up there for a few more minutes. You got to grab that. Sorry, gang. Got to blow my nose. Yeah. Yeah, you missed the show last night, Cub. It was incredible. Deckhand Ryland pulled all the hoop nets, every one of them, and he caught limits for himself, his father, and Anthony. They had 21 lobsters last night. It was what a phenomenal night. And Rick, thank you for the dive reports. Oh my God, you've been spot on the last couple of days. That stuff's incredible. Thank you very much for that. And I can't see any more. Nobody's asking any questions. No one's downloaded the QR code for your gear. Hopefully you guys have plenty of gear. You're going to show up wearing the gear. Brett, we're going to see you at the party on Saturday. We're going to see Seawolf. We're going to see Brent Rodriguez. We're going to see Cubby. We're going to see so many of you at the PCS show on the 4th, the night of the 4th. And then during the day, we'll be there speaking, doing seminars, meeting and greeting, and having fun and talking to everybody. We should have a really good time. But I'm telling you guys, don't stop fishing because it's winter time. As you've seen through this last couple of days, the weather is, well, for like 2 weeks now, I guess, the weather's been just incredible. Yeah, they want to change the size limit on white sea bass to 38 inches. That is ludicrous, gang. You touch a 28-inch, 30-inch sea bass, the thing's going to be dead. And then you have to throw it back. They're not like a black sea bass, not even the same family. And they don't have a lot of. Oh, yeah, he'll be hanging out with us. Definitely, Mike Lewis. He'll be there. Definitely. Oh, cool, Rick. Good. More great reports from Rick. Then, gang, I don't know if you guys, I tell you not to, so you probably didn't. But don't watch the news. They're all lying, but the weather is going to be beautiful. It's going to rain Thursday afternoon, evening, maybe a little bit Friday morning, but it's not enough to make the lobsters crawl. But the following week, oh boy, it's going to rain like a son of a gun. Justin's doing some open party stuff. You guys can check him out. Here's his QR code. Captain Al Clowers is doing open party stuff down in San Diego, which is really cool because we hadn't had that thing. Last year, we didn't get Al to get out there. So this year, he's doing it. So if you guys grab Justin's QR code right there, he'll let you know how you can get out with him in Long Beach. And then Captain Al Clowers in San Diego. Both these guys are geniuses on the lobsters, and they both have beautiful platforms. Captain Al's got 2 boats. You can fish on the Shingari with a couple of buddies, or you can fish on the big boat, which is a Riviera, with 5 of your closest friends, 6 of you total. That's pretty spectacular. And then we go live from these shows. If you guys haven't seen us or heard from us before, when we're out there hoop netting, we're going live because we have Starlink on these Captain Al's boat, Captain Justin's boat. So we go live while we're fishing, which is kind of unheard of for the whole show. So if it sucks, you get to see it suck. And if it's good, you get to see it good, gang. But you never know. The algorithm, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they love to play. We'll get a video that gets 3 million views, and the one that I post right after it will get 12 views. From 3 million to 12, that tells you it's an algorithm problem. It's the companies decide what you're going to. So don't not watch a video of mine because it only has a few views. They're all quality, gang. You got to check them out. And same with our live fishing shows. Check them out. Last night, we got 2,000 views on YouTube. Ryland pulled all the hoop nets. Go watch that. It's incredible. And then tonight, Michael Folks and I are going to have a viewing party for episode 4 of the history of sport fishing. And it's going to be down Florida ways. Him and I will be talking what's going on. You guys can all join us and be a part of and talk and let us know what you think and what you want to know and all that stuff. Michael made the movie, so he'll be there to answer all your questions tonight. Let him know what you think of his movie. It's pretty spectacular. It's available now, streaming all over the place. You can get a hold of it, stream it anywhere, or you can own it. You just want to check it out with us tonight at the History of Sport Fishing viewing party on Your Saltwater Guide on every channel, everywhere you see this. You can watch it tonight. I want to thank you all for joining me this morning, listening to me talk about these sand dabs and the artificial reefs and how much fun it's going to be. And then, like John Stanley, he doesn't understand that it's the middle of winter. You're not supposed to catch anything. He went out and caught 2 yellowtail Saturday. So heaven forbid you don't do it and you sit at home and you think about it. It's going to be an incredible year, gang. It's starting off just awesome. I think we're in store for some fun. Leave a report. Let us know what you find. It's super important. Those reports are gold for all the members, gang. If you're out on the water and you're not reporting what you're doing, all you're doing is cheating on all of us by not sharing. We really need you guys to help us out and share what you're doing out of the water and let everybody know how much fun fishing is, because it is fun and they do want to take it away, and we're going to do our best to make sure they don't take it away from us. Thank you all very much. Turn off the news, they're all lying. We'll be with you tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific